All right, good evening. This is Justin.
And Alicia.
And we're excited to come with our Justin and Alicia show.
Woohoo!
We want to kind of get with you, and it's a little bit later. We're outside here trying to enjoy the fire, and it's a little bit chilly, but not too bad. We're getting ready for our Arctic blast. It's supposed to hit us this week.
Trying to enjoy every
We're going to go from like the 70s down to the 30s and the 20s. So anyways, we're excited to be here tonight, but we're pumped and excited to share, especially after just getting back last night from a big trip that we were able to slip away, the two of us.
So amazing.
And we went down to Charleston. Went through Charlotte.
Yes.
Remember that? Yes. I hit some traffic in Charlotte. But Charleston, South Carolina down there, and went to a business conference, and it was an amazing experience. I have some, those of you that know, have listened to us, that we love listening to podcasts and reading books and all kind of stuff. Well, some of my favorite podcasts are ones by Dean Graziosi and Ed Milet and Brennan Pritchard and these different guys. And this conference is a business conference called The Rise, put on by Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis, her husband. Hollis. And anyways, but those guys are actually speaking live there. It was so awesome to be able to go.
The speaker lineup was
incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, they had
so much wisdom and stories and.
So we basically kind of wanted to give a quick little summary of kind of some of the highlights for us, or kind of, there's so much. It was 3 full days. I mean, it's full days of speaking, and they tried to jam-pack every little bit they could.
In fact, the second day, Rachel came out and she was like, all right, guys, I promise to deliver and give you everything I have, and I'm taking it very literally, and I am pouring my all. And so we said we were going to be done at 5, and I think we got done at 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
She spoke for a couple extra hours just to, pour everything on. So it was intense, but so good.
Almost 6,000 people. Well, 6,000 people, 6,000 plus, like 6,200.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a powerful time. Awesome, awesome speakers, and just a great group of people. Mm-hmm. And the thing that made it so cool and so amazing was, we talk a lot about mindset and stuff, but that is a huge aspect of life and business. Here it was a business conference, okay? It was all about business. And yes, we learned a lot of good tips and tricks and how to deal with employees and customers, and different systems, the importance of having systems and knowing what your product is, staying in your lane. There's lots of principles. But the thing that stood out to me was the whole idea of all the speakers were very successful business people, men and women, and they made it very clear they did not let anyone come up and talk who didn't have a proven lifestyle of success, that didn't have the proof of the pudding. It wasn't anybody there just trying to teach something or just sell something,
right?
Or
in fact, none of them sold anything.
None of them sold anything. They were all there just sharing from their life.
Yeah.
And that's why we titled tonight's little talk, The Experience of Life. Because as we looked at it, the thing I mentioned to Alicia a couple times as we're going through this, if you look at it close, all the principles are very close to the same. I mean, they're all the same principles and stuff. But each speaker had their own unique message, had their own unique perspective, their own unique story, their own unique delivery system, their own unique way of approaching or viewing or explaining or experiencing the principles of life. That it was so fascinating. I mean, how you could have, we probably had like 20 plus speakers, I would think, over the 3 days or something at least, to where, it never got bored or dull, even though you're hearing a lot of the same messages, and you hear them like supporting each other and stuff. And there's some new things. They had different topics they were focusing on. But even though they had their different areas of business that they were supposed to have their theme and focus on, they couldn't get away from the theme of the importance of celebrating and the celebration and experience of life. Mm-hmm. I mean, this life is to be an awesome experience and celebration. And that's up to us. And that's the cool thing. It's up to us.
We choose.
All right. Yeah, exactly. It's a fireside chat. Hey, Brad, Kara. Good to see y'all here tonight with us.
Stephanie, I saw you on.
Yep. Some of y'all slipping in there. Sorry, we're just kind of focused here.
We're so excited.
Trance and stuff. But the reality is, though, we want to kind of talk a little about that. The whole idea of the experience of life. And I want you to think about your own life while we're talking. Because we've been doing a lot of that. A lot of thinking about our life and our experiences. And it's not always positive. In fact, we've had a lot of negative experiences, and it's so fascinating how a lot of the speakers, like Brennan Pritchard and Ed Milet and Dean, and the different ones, how they all talked about a lot of negative aspects and things they had. Failures. They had broken families. Rough childhoods.
Yeah.
Sickness. I mean, some of them had like car accidents where they almost died, and they were
Saw their life literally flash
literally
before his
fly
eyes, blood everywhere.
and stuff. But it's those stories that they told, and they look at them now and tell them with such detail and just kind of perspective now, and just kind of like weird things that happen that almost that's what makes life funny and memorable and unique and special.
Well, and a lot of times those are the pivotal moments in your life. It really helps you stop and think about it and reconsider and maybe take a different course or get right or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so the theme to me was the whole concept of we need to embrace our story. We got to embrace our life. We got to embrace our story. Each one of us has a unique story and a unique perspective, unique circumstances, unique experiences, all these things that make us unique and make our message, our contribution, the impact that we can have, something that only we can have.
That's right.
Because of, and we're going to have different people that we're going to be drawn to, or different kind of people are going to be drawn to us because of our story, because of our upbringing, because of our family, our parents, our lack of parents, our siblings, or the things we've done or haven't done, but we have to view it that way and embrace it, so we can learn from it.
I found it was interesting, even the different speakers. There's different ones that I personally like. I have huge respect and learn from each one, but there are certain ones that I really am especially drawn to, like, I mean, their message was just like really impactful, and I would love to get to know this person or get mentored by this person, or, I mean, any of them would be amazing, but it is interesting how, because of their story or because of their walk with the Lord, or, there's some commonality or something that you identify with.
And so that was one thing that, this was a business conference. It was called Rise Business Conference. And so, it wasn't like a, self-help mindset conference, but there was so much of that. I'd say 50% or more was all about that, because that's what business is.
Exactly.
But the reality is,
business.
in your business, the whole idea is to give an experience to your customer, not just to solve a need and give them a product, because there's multiple people doing that. I mean, how are you going to set yourself apart from your competition? When there's lots of people trying to do the same thing, or there's lots of people actually going to come and copy your product or copy your service. But what they can't copy is the experience that you give, is the experience that you as an individual, as a team, your core values, your unique mission statement, your perspective, and your passion, your excitement, the ministry that you have through your life. That's it. If you don't have that, then you're not going to have a successful business, or you might have a business that maybe you happen to hit a niche that people want to buy, and they're going to spend, pay lots of money. So maybe financially you're successful, but are you going to enjoy it? Are you going to be excited? Are you going to be passionate about it? Are you going to want to? Is it going to drive you to keep doing it? Are you going to have a awesome, fun team? Or is it just going to be like, I'm at work, get over with, so I can get home. I want to get, look forward to the weekends, hate Mondays, you know. And so, but that was something that I brought home to my company. That was just a good reminder that you have to be able to give an experience to your customer and have an experience with your team. It was so cool this morning. Every Monday morning with my team at Enquist Enterprises, we do custom design and remodeling and specializing in kitchen and baths and whole house renovations. So this morning I want to take some time, because it's the end of the year. We're well into the last quarter. About 45 days left to this year. Insane. But it's so easy to get caught up into, okay, the next customer. Are we done with this job yet? We got to hurry and get done. We need to make money. We got to hurry and meet our goals. And blah blah blah. It's all about just the work and work and work. And but the reality, the reason why I like having my team and all that stuff is because I enjoy being able to have the people working with, to have their, they'll joke and have fun and go through adventures together, and be able to have these my people to call and go out to lunch with, or have managers meetings, or be able to call my guys to come and help me, or hey, let's go do this, let's take on this. That to me, that's what's exciting about it.
Right. And
I had noticed that some of my team had been kind of working fine, but it seemed like that everything was a straight line, and that's the one thing that I think that we need to be careful of, is our life should never be just a straight line. It's fine, but if it's a straight line, then it's going to get old, it's going to get dull, it's going to become unmemorable, there's going to be no excitement, you're going to lose passion, Instead, you have to have some excitement, some momentum, some bounce, and stuff. And so instead of like doing a typical meeting where we just go through just the jobs, you know, and where we at, what's left, give me an update, give me a report, you know, we took time I let all of my people go around the room and each take turns. We took one of my team at a time, and we would all say one thing that we were appreciate about them, that stood out to us about them, and what they did, the value that we saw they brought to our company. And it was just amazing to watch. As we went around the room, also people started lighting up and getting excited and kind of getting passionate. And all of a sudden you can start seeing people like perking up, or before they were sitting in their chair, all of a sudden next to them they're perking up. They were smiling. They were like engaged, and they were starting to get more excited. And it just like was a reminder to me that, you know, we have to be careful not to, you know, quench the experience of life from life itself. You know, it's so easy, like even your business, for example, because this was a business conference, to start viewing your customer as an obstacle, as a problem. It's like, God, why do I have to deal with this customer? Why can't I just go, you know, but the reality is that they are your business. And so, you know, if we start viewing our customers, and this whole principle, this whole principle has to do with your family too. Your family can be the same way. Because you can start viewing your kids, your husband, your wife, or whatever it is, you know, as obstacles to you be able to enjoy your week, your life, you get through. You start viewing them all as obstacles to being able to achieve your goals. When the reality is that they are your life. This is your life. They are your goals. They need to be a part of your goals. Your family is your goals, and it's your life. You know, you got to embrace it. You can't see it as a competition. You have to see how can you incorporate it into it. Because the reality is, I mean, if you're married, you need to embrace the fact you're married, and you need to see that as your life and make it work and be excited and find it. And how do you make marriage exciting? You know, the way we've found is that the only way to make it exciting, and how do you make your family life exciting? Or how do you make your business life exciting? It all comes down to you have to choose to make experiences, to embrace experiences, to make the most out of lack, maybe. Maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you can still have an awesome experience.
Exactly.
You know, and so we tried that over our trip down to Charleston. You know, I decided to rent a car. And so I went to the rental place, and I told them, I said, you know what, I want you to, you know, it's kind of last minute, but I want the most sporty, awesome car you have. I don't want just any car. I want the best, badass, sporty car you had. Well, I mean, it's kind of late notice, and until the lady there was like, I'll do what I can. She said, just come in tomorrow. And so I came in the day that we left on a Thursday, and she was all excited, saying, if you can wait 20 more minutes, you know, then I've got this brand new Buick convertible. And you know, it was awesome. I mean, I was hoping maybe a Ferrari or a Camaro or, you know, maybe something like that. But it was pretty cool. It was a brand stinking new 2019. It had it didn't have even 10,000 miles on it yet, but it was an awesome, slick, black convertible with tan interior, leather.
And you better believe we put that.
And it was a convertible.
Top down.
And so, you know, even though it was chilly, it was cool. We put that top down, and we were like cruising, and it was an awesome experience. And so, you know, we did that. And then when we got down to, you know, the event and stuff, it was really cool that even at the event, that was their whole, you know, the whole part of the concept and the teaching was to have an experience. And so, you know, like a lot of conferences you go and it's like you're sitting there for 3 days, and eventually you get bored, or you start falling asleep or tired. Well, they would constantly throw in all kinds of surprises. Like next thing you know, they had this thing where they would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and as soon as they did that, you never knew when it was going to come. You'd have to jump up and for 30 seconds just dance and jump up and down and throw your arms in the air. And
you have to understand, Justin and I are a little more reserved when it comes to music and things like that.
Well, I'm at a conference at times. I mean, it depends, you know. It's kind of like, I'm here to, you know, learn, not here to dance. But then it's like, it showed me how you can be so freaking serious that next thing you know, that life becomes boring or becomes, you know, too intense. You know, you got to enjoy life. And so it was awesome.
Rachel even said during the conference, she said it's a proven fact that, you know, when you're just, like, even in business and you're struggling, you're getting too intense, or your brain's just like, you can't figure something out, you're stuck, whatever. It's scientifically proven if you jump up and start moving for 30 seconds, it clears your head. So her big thing was
She said, move your body, change your mind.
To change your mind. That's right.
Move your body, change your mind.
So we did.
Don't worry, Brad. I'll be releasing that later. That's the next level. But it was awesome though. I mean, so it was like, you're in a big crowd and all these people around you and stuff. And you're like, dance, fun. I was like, forget this. Dance. And I was like jumping and kicking. And anyways, I mean, it's amazing how just all of a sudden you feel free and loose. And it was like, what the heck? What am I holding myself back for? Trying to be so proper, trying to be so, in control of my life. If you try to do that, you're gonna hate your life, because you can't control your life around you. You can only just let yourself go with the punches. Go with the flow. Otherwise, you're gonna be tweaking your back. You're gonna be breaking your bones. You just gotta kind of go with it and flow with it. Debbie said, that's so true. It clears your mind. You don't have to be too extreme as far as like, jumping and smacking your head on the ceiling.
I don't have a heart attack or anything, but
some of my coaches that I've been, have worked with that have helped me and stuff, they said you only want to sit for about, at the most, about an hour and a half. Even that, 90 minutes is pretty much the max, and you want to get up and you want to walk around. You want to do something for a jog, get a drink, get up and get the blood flowing again, so you can kind of get some life going and stuff. So, what we're trying to say is, you got to right now embrace to live your best life now. Don't wait. Live your best life now. Enjoy the moment. Do the extra little thing. Have some dessert.
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings has been in our marriage, and it's still true, but the best is yet to come. And I'll write that little notes to it, and then that kind of thing. And it's an encouragement to keep going. Keep going on this path and going for our dreams and our goals. And it's true. But it was interesting. Rachel was talking about her. I think it was a brother-in-law who was like 46, something like that, had a heart attack and died. No warning, no nothing. I mean, his wife came home and he was dead, sitting on the couch. And a big message throughout the weekend was, live your best life now. Like, don't save
wait.
Those best, sometimes you have those ideas. Don't save the best ideas for later or when you're ready for it. Like, do it now, and just that focus of live your best life now, live your best ideas now. Like, it's now. We don't have tomorrow for sure. There's no assurance of tomorrow. Today, right now, it's the present. So. Well,
also the same kind of principle that most of the time, we're like self-help and school and education. We're all about focusing on our weaknesses, on our negatives,
right.
or where we're lacking and stuff. And even like when you do a SWOT analysis, I encourage you to do a SWOT analysis. That's your strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Where I do one every month, where I can kind of just get a snapshot of where I'm at. But the reality is, that if the reason why you do it is you want to find out what are your strengths. What do you enjoy? What are you good at? And you want to make that your main focus. You want to do that the main thing you do all the time, so you can enjoy it, maximize who you are. And of course, your weaknesses, you want to work on those and try to turn them into strengths. But you don't just focus on your weaknesses, or it's going to pull you all down in that area. What you focus on expands. Right. And so the same thing here. If you don't start viewing life as an experience, then it's going to be a negative experience. It's going to be an experience one way or the other. It's just a matter of how are you going to control your life? You're going to let your life control you. It's all about how you embrace the moment.
Yeah.
And so we decided to take it, put this in practice. So when we were down there in Charleston, of course we had the evenings together to go out and have fun. And so I was determined to go have an experience. I didn't want to go downtown and just find a restaurant. There was thousands of restaurants, and we could have. So I was like, I want to go have a restaurant either on the water or on top of a building. And so we did. We found a restaurant on top of a building. It was awesome. It had these fire pits and all these cool lights. And then we found the only restaurant in Charleston on the water. And I determined, we could big line and big wait. And I told the stewardess, I said, I want to make sure I get a table on the water. I mean, outside of the building, on the water.
Extra?
It was 15 extra minutes. And of course, I went to the bar and got me something that gave me a little extra time for that. That was awesome. But, it was worth it. So we got to sit on the water. We could have been like, whatever, we just want to rush through this, want to eat our dinner and get out of here. But we were there for the experience. And I just, as I have taken time to, embrace and enjoy the experience, life has become a lot more exciting. And actually, it's become a little less hectic, too. I mean, until I see my credit card bills. I mean, that's something, the reality that hits home. But, that's part of the experience, too. Makes
you
you work harder.
to work harder.
Makes you work harder. And so, anyway, so that's what we're trying to say.
In light of that, like, it doesn't even have to be that crazy. Like that rooftop restaurant, we didn't both get a crazy fancy meal. We shared a pizza.
We split a pizza.
And an appetizer. And it was a blast.
Yeah,
So,
she still ate more than me. Oh, whoops, I was supposed to say that
I
part.
was living fully.
Yeah, she was
enjoying the
experience. And tell them the saying that you have been saying a lot.
Choose joy. So often I wait for the joy, like I'm looking for the joy. It's a choice. What are you going to choose? I'm choosing to have a bad attitude or, whatever, or I'm choosing joy. And so that's been my mantra today. Choose joy. Choose joy. Choose joy. Choose joy. So we choose. So many things in life you choose. Yeah, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, but it's your choice. And I really firmly believe, even in the failures, in the hard times, there's still an amount of choosing joy and embracing it and learning from it and not running from it. So
yeah. So anyway,
choose
it's been
joy.
it's been such an exciting, a whole new, I guess, level or experience of our life as we just start doing things that, like, for example, we're walking down the street in Charleston. There's these guys with these bikes, that has this big seat thing in the back and everything. And we always thought these look so cool. What's it be like to do that? Well, I said, let's go. I walk over there and say, dude, I want to go for a ride. So
it was so fun.
And we just jumped in and went. I didn't even know where to go. I said, just take me somewhere, and instead we started finding places.
Where to take us.
Yeah, and so, but that was something that didn't cost a lot, but it's one of those things that we've talked a lot about. We always look at it and say that'd be kind of cool. And now I'm like, shoot, if it's gonna be cool, let's do it. If it's that cool, if it takes our attention, why don't we just do it? And so some of these little things, it's not like they have to break the bank. I mean, there are some cool things you can do that you might need to work up to certain levels and stuff. But there's so many things that we could do that are not huge. Mm-hmm. Things that maybe they're in our mind. It's mainly in our mind. Mm-hmm. It's just doing some things. And so, that's kind of the message we want to get across to you is right now is, do you enjoy your life? Is your life exciting? Do you enjoy your work? If you don't, guess what? It's your fault. For one, you're the one that chose the job. And number two, if you're at that job, you're the one that can choose to make that job either an adventure, enjoyable, or not, by your perspective and what you do and how you make it an experience. When I went to that rental place, the gals that were working in there, they had a stressful job. They had all these people in there. They had cars coming and going. But they made it a fun experience because they'd joke around, they would laugh, they didn't get stressed out. And then even when I took the car back, they were all excited. They were like, say, how'd you like it? Wanting to hear about it. And I was telling my wife wanted me to take the convertible top up while we're driving. We almost lost the top. It's so cool, but no, we kept it all in. She was like, let's take the top off. And I'm flying down the interstate at 70 miles an hour. And I was like, we have to stop first. You can't do that. We'll lose the top and stuff. But anyways, they're glad to see we didn't do that and stuff. But at the very end, when I walked out, they were like, so I hope you enjoyed your experience here. And and I did. I told them when I want a car, I know where I'm going to go. I'm going to come to you because you went out of your way and you told me, you went out of your way to find me a car and work it out. I had to wait 15 minutes more to be able to get my car, and I was wanting to get out of town. But it was worth it because you talked it up like, oh my gosh, it's worth the wait. You're going to like this car. It's so cool. And then they went out there and purposely cleaned it up, vacuumed it, polished it up for me. So it was like the best, looking it could be. Mm-hmm. And so, so it was fun. So we got back home, right? We got home Sunday night. And we actually we rushed home. We didn't even stop. I had to stop at the cook shop and get a hot dog. I don't ever eat hot dogs. But for some reason, it's part of the experience thing. I was walking by thinking I was going to go get some healthy snacks of some kind.
Which he did, but then...
I got some healthy snacks, but then the hot dog smelled so good. And I looked and said, all beef. So I said, okay, it's got to be good,
that
right?
That makes a difference.
And so I did have a hot dog. And then you should see me trying to drive without getting mustard on my shirt.
He had his good, white shirt on.
And so that was part of the experience, too. But, so anyways, we didn't stop for lunch. I'm trying to say we didn't stop for lunch. And we wanted to get back because we wanted to have enough time to take my kids.
And then your coffee.
Then my coffee.
His coffee kept dripping. He kept dripping down his. So he had
I know. So I was like unbuttoning my shirt
coffee.
back, so it just. And eventually, I was like trying to pull my shirt back so it just drip on my chest, so it wouldn't stain my clothes.
Yeah, really sexy looking. Just saying.
That's part of the experience too. And so, anyways, we didn't want to stop. We wanted to get back before it was dark because I wanted to take my kids for a ride in the convertible.
Yes.
And so we rushed back
to the star.
And so we did. So as soon as I got back, we told the kids, get out in the car, get your coat on, jump in. And even though it was chilly, we took the top, put the top down, and I took them for a ride through the Blue Ridge Parkway. We went around, we had a fun time. Then we went up to the Star, and took them a walk, got pictures, and but it's all those little things, and that's the thing that our kids remember. They talk about, they're excited about.
In fact, in their homeschool meeting today, they give presentations, and 2 of them gave a presentation on getting to ride in the convertible.
Yeah.
So,
and so many times I find myself trying to be practical, right? I find myself trying to be responsible. Who made the responsibility rules? I mean, yes, there's need for some rules here and there, but so many of them are just like they're excuses for having no fun. I'm responsible. It means I'm a loser, or I'm responsible. I'm boring. And so you don't have to be irresponsible to be responsible to have fun. So we're at the restaurant. And so it could have been easy. We all ate, we're full, and the kids are like, well, I was really, but the kids were like, they wanted dessert.
He uses the kids as an excuse all the time.
So, I didn't buy us all dessert, but I bought one big dessert with all of us our own spoon. We all just dove in there and all had a bite and a lick and a taste, But it's just something extra. It was experience. It was fun. And so, so we've been working really hard, and that was like a confirmation this weekend of the importance of making experiences in life. And your whole story, is who is you. It's who you are. It's your message. It's what's going to make you successful in your life, in your business, in your marriage, your relationship with your kids. And the bigger the story, the more willing you are to say it, and the more willing you are to give the ooey gooey juicy details. That's going to be the biggest impact you're going to have on people, and the more you're going to reach. And so we just want to encourage you to embrace your life, embrace your story, live your best life now, and make life an experience. Someone said, bring feeling back into your life. You need to bring feeling back into your life. If you have a dead life, then, shame on you. It's your responsibility to bring feeling back in your life. And just like when you move your body, you change your mind, you need to start adding experiences to your life in order to change your deadness, to bring life back to your life. Start doing something new. Start adding something new purposely. And you have to add it purposely. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen on its own. You're going to have to purposely add it. And guess what? It might cost you a little bit of money. It might cost you some time. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost something, because there's a reason why you're not willing to do it right now. You're not willing to pay the price. And another little principle, I keep going on and on and on.
I was going to say,
I got to wrap up. Hey, I'm at the round 2 next week, but before I do, don't count the cost. Focus on the worth. What's the worth of it? Not what it costs, but what is it worth?
Right. Where's your focus? Is this costing you so much? Is it costing you your family and your kids? And, a mom that's working or has a business, side business or whatever. Oh, this is, it's costing so much to my family. Focus on the worth. What's this worth to you?
What's it worth? It'll pay off. So
it's huge.
So one little practical point you can do, if you're like me and you hate journaling and writing stuff down, it's like you never can find time, then don't journal. Just get a journal. And don't write anything, but just write. Basically, if you get too overwhelmed trying to figure out your whole day, just write one high and one low. Yep. What was a high point in your life, or what was a low point in your life? And
just
write that down, and anything else comes to mind, but just at least have a high point and a low, and maybe an important person you met, or relationship, or a networking, or some connection there, Yeah. But if you can remember your highs and your lows, that's going to help, help you remember different things in your life, and help you, remember your story. Because that's what people want to hear, too. They don't want to hear the normal stuff, and that's boring. Everyone has normal stuff. They want to hear your low or your high, That's what they want. And so keep that in mind. And, we're excited to continue to share our story as we purpose to continue to have our life be an experience, an adventure, and be willing to share the ups and the downs. Right?
That's right.
All right. Well, that's it for today, folks.
Life.
Go live your best life now and make your life an experience. Don't just get by. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Have a great night.